state your war and branch of service?
OEF, Operation Enduring Freedom, and I was in the military from 1991 until '99. Then I had a 10-year break, and I went from 2009 until 2022.
Okay. What was your rank?
E6.
Who?
E6.
E6.
Yes, sorry.
Where did you serve?
I served in. I went to. I've been to served in Romania on some exercise. I served in Afghanistan and also did 2 years in Korea,
Okay.
South Korea.
Okay. Where were you drafted or did you volunteer?
Volunteer.
Okay. What were your living conditions like?
Sometimes they were subpar, and sometimes they were just the basic living conditions.
Did you have contact with family and friends a while away?
Yes,
What was your job assignment?
I had multiple job assignments. When I was deployed in Afghanistan, I was what you call a my primary job was truck driver, but my secondary job was a electronic warfare guy, where we set up the dupe system that jams the frequency that they send to explode IEDs. So that was and then toward the end, because the mission we was on was a retrograde mission, so we was tearing down the forts because they were downsizing in Afghanistan. So I turned into a safety guy, like going around patrolling the construction sites where we were tearing down the forts.
Anything else? Okay. What was your daily routine?
It varies. Depends on like the condition we was in. Like if we was on a mission, like if I got tasked for a mission, then we would go to from one fort to the next, but the conditions changed daily. Like if we didn't have air support or they got different conditions like amber, red, green. It was based on the air or if you had air support. I mean, sometimes you just sit in a place for a week, and sometimes you can sit there for a month. So, but normally get up and our normal day, but you get up and service vehicles or just depend on what your job was, because you get tasked to do different stuff. So.
Right. Okay. Were you ever scared or fearful while doing?
Yes. Just like my first night there, like when we first got on the plane that night, they bombed us. So yeah. So like our first night there and our last night there, we got bombed, but it was bombing like every day or every other day.
Oh wow.
So it was just like we always getting bombed. So you kind of got used to it. Wow. They had bomb shelters, and like they had it's called a wave system. But what happened is it can detect when they're shooting rockets, and they'll tell you income, so they give you time
to get away from it.
To try to get to the bomb shelter or just lay down on the floor. Because they're trained to tell you like if you get a bomb coming in, lay on the floor or get to the bomb shelter. So.
Wow. Okay. Did you make any close friends during the war?
Like for us, like the Afghan friends.
Just period.
I mean, like there's always camaraderie when you deploy with a person.
Right.
So you always. I still stay in contact with some, but there was a couple of locals that did our laundry. That if you give them a Red Bull, that makes sure you get your laundry back in 1 day instead of 4 days.
A Red Bull.
Yeah. I mean, they were poor. Really business. So.
Oh, wait. So you saying the indigenous people was doing y'all's laundry?
I mean, they had like locals, and they're poor. So you give them a Red Bull, or you give them like something from the PX.
Yeah.
So they did all the laundry. They worked on the base. Mm-hmm. They did our laundry, and they pretty much cleaned up for us. So.
Okay. So, what was one of your biggest challenges that you experienced during the war?
Just maintaining my sanity, because you don't know if you're gonna die or not. So like every day, and then like I had to fly around on helicopters and stuff a lot too. Mm-hmm. So it was like, am I gonna turn this ridge? Somebody sitting on that ridge with an RPG or something.
So what is a ridge? I'm sorry.
Like, you know, like mountainous ridge, you go around
okay.
different mountains and you don't know if somebody's standing on that mountain with a, you know, with a rocket or
Right.
you know, so, you know, just maintain my sanity and worry about my safety. So that was one of my biggest challenges. So,
Do you have any regrets about joining your virtual service?
oh, I don't, because, you know, it, like, it opened up a lot of doors for me, even though I took a chance. A gamble going to a war, you know, like being in the military, you're gonna take a gamble. You go to a war, but if you make it through it, then, you know, there are a lot of benefits. So,
Were there any lessons learned that you have been able to carry through life?
just the overall discipline thing, you know, just, you know, like just being a disciplined person and understanding what's right, what's not, you know, what's right, what's wrong, and understanding, prioritizing. So I took a lot of lessons away from the military. So.
Okay. And what foods were y'all eating while?
Diploma.
Mm-hmm.
We had civilian cooks from like Guam, places like that, cooking for us in the Philippines. So they cook like just regular food. Like, you know, one night you have seafood night, one night you have just soul food night. So they cook just regular. Yeah, they cook like regular food for us over there. I mean, they ship the food in over there. So like we weren't allowed to drink their water. So we had to drink like bottled water the whole time.
Okay. So what were the living conditions like?
So like if you stayed on bar room, we stayed in a hard shell. We stayed in like see like this building behind you. We stayed in like we had no windows, so we stayed in like just hard shell, yeah. Because you couldn't have windows or something, you know,
Right,
class.
but then
So,
you can't even see anybody coming.
well, you don't have to worry about it because like the men's like we stayed on the first floor, the females stayed on the second floor. But when I went to different fobs, like we didn't have all those different hard shell buildings, so a lot of times we had to stay in, they call it clam shells, like the little tents. So you had to sleep on the cot and you had to, like you had wood platforms and then you sleep on a sleeper cot, so you had to take all that stuff into your tank on the mission. So, and then you had to walk from here, maybe like, sometimes I had to walk from here maybe to that building over there just to get a shower or, so it varies depending on what farm you was in, so.
Let's see. Did you sustain any injuries or wounds?
Yeah, I did, so I got, like 4 or 5 different injuries. Like torn MCL, plantar fasciitis, then just the overall PTSD from it. Just, like being always being on alert and kind of range. I'm real rangy about stuff, so.
Okay. Let's see. What did you do for fun while deployed?
Like we, like sometimes like we had a little cigar club over there, and then we played volleyball and like me. We had guys. They had different like events set up. Like you can do like partial marathons, and you can go on like. They had like what is it like you can go to they had MWR, so a lot of times MWR is just like when you go and relax, play games, PlayStation, but I don't do that. So a lot of times I went to MWR, I'm FaceTiming my kids.
So y'all were able to keep y'all's phones?
Well, actually, you have to go to the MWR to use the Wi-Fi to FaceTime back home. You could get a phone over there, but it was just a call. You could call, but it's expensive to call from the US. It's called. They have phones that you can buy, and you buy a phone for it's pretty much a rip off. You buy a phone for $50, $60 and make 2 or 3 calls on it. It's over with.
Oh wow.
And then if you just had to talk to somebody, it was expensive. Call back home. So.
Do you remember how much it was?
Something like buying a phone?
No, to put like a car.
Like the call per minute, I don't remember that.
Okay.
But I know you could buy like a $50, $100 card, and then it just depends on like the frequency of calling back home. So, like me, I used the Wi-Fi to FaceTime because I had young kids at the time. My daughter, she was 4 when I deployed. My son was 2. So Like, and you know that was adjustment coming back because he didn't know me. He didn't recognize my daughter recognized who I was. But my son, it took him like 2 or 3 weeks to get adjusted to me.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask 2 more questions. Did your attitude about the war change as it progressed?
Yeah, and it changed for a lot of reasons because, like, what's the biggest thing? It was just the ways and how we treated those people. So,
and how did the members of your platoon regard the war?
It just depended on. It was like, that's a hard question to answer because, like, everybody had their own opinion about it, and then like some guys were gun ho there because they wanted to kill people. Some guys were like, hey, I just want to get back home to my family. So it depends on like who you're talking to, and like I can talk to a young guy that's used to playing Mortal Kombat or Call of Duty. That's all he want to do is go and kill somebody. But then I can talk to somebody that was in my age bracket that was, doing it because they had to do it. His focus was, hey, my safety, get back home to my family. So it varies.
Okay. Well, those are all the questions for today, and I want to thank you thank you for allowing me the chance to interview you, and I want to thank you for your services as well.
Did you need pictures?
Yes, sir.